Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. Alright, just like we did with the O'Reilly Auto Parts series and the Craftsman Truck series, we're going to take a look at some of the history of the NASCAR Cup Series. This is the 78th season for the Cup Series, the 55th in the modern era. The modern era began in 1972. The modern era consists of dropping the dirt tracks and then dropping all tracks under a half mile, and shortening the schedule from like 50 to 60 races to less than 30. And so now we bumped it back up to 36. But yeah, so a lot of changes happened there. The title sponsor, Winston, came in. Now we have the premier partners. So throughout that 78-year history of NASCAR, 2,997 drivers started at least one race. Only 1,074 of those drivers finished in the top 10. Only 548 of those drivers finished in the top 5. Only 206 of those drivers ever won a race. Only 36 of those drivers have ever won a championship. So it is hard to start a race, it is hard to finish in the top 10, it is even harder to finish in the top 5, even harder to win a race, and winning the championship is the ultimate, obviously, goal, but the ultimate prize as well, and most difficult thing to do. The top 10 all-time start list for NASCAR Cup Series. The King, Richard Petty, 1,184 starts. Ricky Rudd, 906. Terry Labonte, 890. Dave Marcus, 883. Mark Martin, 882. Kyle Petty, 829. Bill Elliott, 828. Kevin Harvick, 826. Darrell Waltrip, 809. And Jeff Gordon, 805. The current top most active starts, Kyle Busch, 750. Now remember, Kyle Busch, more than likely, 2029 will be his last full-time season in the Cup Series. Because he had said when Brexton turned 16, because Brexton's birthday is in May, so when the year Brexton turned 16, which would be 2031, he's going to want to run a part-time schedule in the Truck Series and split the truck with Brexton, because if Brexton can run the short tracks and road courses, and Kyle will run the rest of the schedule. The year before, which would be 2030, Kyle wanted to run 4 full seasons in the Truck Series, trying to get that one championship, to have a championship in all 3. So based on what Kyle has said in the past, more than likely 2029 will be his last full-time season in Cup. Now I say that because we found out today on Marty and McGee that Jimmy Johnson said the 2027 Daytona 500, so next year, will be his final start in the NASCAR Cup Series. Legacy Motor Club will have 4 cars that day. And so more than likely he'll do the provisional again, which is cool, you know. Guarantee our 7-time champion in that race. So yeah, that'll be interesting. And obviously at the end of 2027 will probably be the last race for Denny Hamlin, because he had signed that 2-year contract, and he said that was his last contract. And that ran from 26 and 27, so that 27 Daytona 500 might be Denny Hamlin's last Daytona 500. So yeah, over the next few years, we're going to lose some of our top drivers. Right now, Kyle Busch has 750 career starts. Denny Hamlin has 721 career starts. Joey Logano 615. Brad Keselowski's talked about stepping away and going to more ownership instead of owner-driver. He's got 593 starts. Michael McDowell's got 537 starts. Casey Mears has 494 starts. He'll make his 495th start at the Daytona 500 today. AJ Allmendinger has 482 Cup starts. I didn't even realize that. Ricky Stenhouse 472. Austin Dillon 444. Kyle Larson 402. Now, Kyle Busch currently ranks 14th all-time, and Kyle Larson ranks 70th all-time in starts. So only 70 drivers have 402 or more starts in the NASCAR Cup Series. When we look at the wins list, Richard Petty, 200 wins, the King. The Silver Fox, David Pearson, 105. Their Wonder Boy, Jeff Gordon, with 93. Bobby Allison was awarded his 85th victory. That Myers Brother 200 or 250 from Bowman Gray that he won driving a sportsman car. It counted in the sportsman division, but it did not count in the NASCAR Cup Series. NASCAR changed that this year, so he now has 85 wins, one ahead of Darrell Waltrip with 84, which is one ahead of Jimmy Johnson, who is tied with Cale Yarrow, both at 83. Now, would it be cool if Jimmy Johnson could get another one or two and break the tie? If he could get 3 wins and be 86, 85, 84, 83, that would be really cool. But Cale up there's in 7th place with 83. Dale Earnhardt 8th with 76. Right now, Kyle Busch has 63. I think Kyle Busch has the ability over the next, what is that, 4 more years to get 13 wins. I think he could do that and tie Dale Earnhardt. Denny Hamlin and Kevin Harvick are tied with 10th overall with 60 wins. If you look at the current active drivers, Kyle Busch was 63, Denny Hamlin was 60. Now, Denny Hamlin's got 2 years left, probably 66-ish. I mean, he could tie Dale. I don't know if he can get 8 wins a year in the next 2 years, but he can definitely get 65, maybe 70, so get 10 wins. I think he could get to 70 easy. Joey Logano with 36, Joey Logano with 37, Brad Keselowski with 36, Kyle Larson with 32, Chase Elliott 21, Ryan Blaney 17, William Byron 16, Christopher Bell 13, Alex Bowman and Tyler Reddick each with 8. Career top 5 is Richard Petty with 555, Bobby Allison 336, Jeff Gordon 325, David Pearson 301, and Dale Earnhardt 281. There's your Mount Rushmore of NASCAR drivers. Now, active top 5s, Kyle Busch with 254, Denny Hamlin 248, Joey Logano 174, Brad Keselowski 161, and Kyle Larson with 134. All-time top 10s, Richard Petty 712, Jeff Gordon 477, Mark Martin 453, Bobby Allison 446, and then Kevin Harvick with 444. Active drivers, Kyle Larson 392, Denny Hamlin 376, Joey Logano 300, Brad Keselowski 376, and Kyle Larson with 204. Of those 36 champions, 18 of them were multi-time champions. Obviously, Richard Petty, 1964 through 1979, 7-time champion. 1980 through 1994, Dale Earnhardt, 7-time champion. Now, I know everyone looks at Jeff Gordon. He won in 95. If it wasn't for them changing the playoffs in 2004, Jeff Gordon would more than likely, based on the old system, could have been a 7-time champion. And the 7-time champions would have went basically from 64 to 79, 1980 through 1994, 1995 through 2008 or 10, whatever it would have been for Jeff Gordon. Yes, that would have been cool, but you know what? Jimmy Johnson, 2006 through 2016 with 7 championships. That's pretty damn cool as well. Jeff Gordon with 4, Lee Petty, David Pearson, Tony Stewart, Kelly Yarborough, Darrell Waltrip, and Joey Logano each with 3. I know some folks don't agree with the 3 that Joey Logano has, put him in the same breath as the other ones, but guess what? Everyone won a championship based on the season they ran. Now, you can actually say, if NASCAR wouldn't have changed the points, Richard Petty could have had more championships, because they changed the points to the Latford system, which was the Winston Cup point system in 1975. Richard Petty won championship in 75 and 79. That was it under the Latford system. So he could have won other championships based on the other system that he ran under. You can say that for a lot of different drivers. They may have done this, may have done that based on the system. If they would have had playoffs from day one, who knows what would have happened. But they didn't. They've changed the system 9 times now, and every single champion is a deserving champion. Every single champion is equal. So Lee Petty, David Pearson, Tony Stewart, Kelly Yarborough, Darrell Waltrip, Joey Logano, they're all equal 3-time champions in the NASCAR Cup Series. Alright, stay tuned to Rubber Sports Show for the season premiere and the chase prediction for the NASCAR Cup Series. As always, thanks for watching Rubber Sports Show. Don't just have a great day, have a spiffy day. Rubber Sports Show, your YouTube leader in sports content.